Good morning, my loves, and welcome to another video. If you're new here, my name is Mahsa, and this is going to be like a reading bookish vlog. I don't know how many days it's going to last, basically. So it's going to be today, possibly tomorrow, possibly a third day. I don't actually know how long it's going to go on for, but it's a bookish reading vlog. So today is the 17th of September, which means that we are well and truly in the middle of the Magical Readathon, and I'm not doing so good. I think I've only read 2 books. Is it 2 or has it been less? Honestly, I don't know. I think I've read Zodiac Academy and then, oh, I never finished the second one. I read Zodiac Academy and that was for one of the prompts, so we've got 1 book down at least. I then started A Feather So Black by Lyra Celine, and I was listening to that on Spotify, which if you didn't know, and if you have like the premium membership thing to Spotify, you get audiobooks on there, which is amazing, except that you get 15 hours allowance per month, I think it is, which is less than ideal because like 2 hours before the end of the book, I ran out of the allowance that I've got, and now I have to wait like 20 days, which is obviously not going to happen because that's then going to be October. So I need to physically read the last bit of that, which I'm really not looking forward to because I was really struggling to get through the audiobook. So I don't know how I'm going to manage to read the last bit, but I'm so close to the end that I just need to finish it at this point. And I do have the Fairy Loot edition of it, so I'll just quickly, it'll probably take me hours, but I think that might be a tomorrow job. So I will read that at some point during this vlog and finish it, so that can be our second book. I'm listening to there it is, House of Sky and Breath, which is the second book in the Crescent City trilogy currently as it stands, by Sarah J Maas, obviously. And I am currently 12 hours and 45 minutes in, and I've got 15 hours left. Although because I listened to it at like 1.2 speed, it'll be a little bit less than that. So yeah, that's where we're currently at. I am loving House of Sky and Breath. So I I took creative liberties, would we say? For one of the prompts for Magical Readathon is to read a book where there is 4 or more of the same letter in the title. And originally I was going to read, what's it called? The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic. But I really wanted to get to the second book in the series because I just read the first one last month. So I really wanted to get to the second one. So I figured out that if I make it so it's Crescent City, House of Sky and Breath, then that works. But if I just take it as House of Sky and Breath, then it doesn't work. But it's Crescent City, the House of Sky and Breath. So it works. Everything's fine. Now, I'm gonna finish my coffee really quickly. I'm having an almost toddler-like breakfast of crustless toast with Biscoff spread and apples. Yeah, it very much looks like toddler food at this point. So I'm on some like medication which makes me super nauseous, so there's very few things I can eat that don't make me nauseous. This is one of them, so this is what my life has become. The other part of the whole bookish vlog is that my bookshelves are looking like utter trash. And I need to do something about it. I need to figure out some way to make them look better, but also this is like the only storage that I kind of have for my office. So I don't really know, but we need to figure out a way to deal with this. And I also want to put some books aside to do a little unhaul and hopefully sell some of them, because I'm currently not buying any books because money and I need to save. So because of that, I also want to sell some of the books that I already have, particularly the Fairy Loot editions. There's some books that are really popular that I've read that I just did not vibe with. So if I can sell them and make a bit of money, then that is what I am going to do. I do also have a little bit of work that I need to get done, organisation of the website and things like that. I've got a few more coatings that I need to do. I also have a separate YouTube channel where I basically track how my business is doing. I do whimsical and bookish polymer clay items like this is one of our it's so cute. This is a moonling, but it's a zombie moonling. Its brain's hanging out, it's got a little bone sticking out, and it's missing an eye. It's very cute, but I make cute whimsical things. If you wanted to check that out, I will have it linked down below. Anyway, enough talking. I am going to finish eating dead quickly, have my coffee, put the audiobook back on because I literally only paused it so that I could do this intro, and then hopefully get ready and head out because I've got a few things that I need to do out there. Maybe walk around Waterstones and not buy anything. We'll see. Let's get into this reading vlog.
Shit that you said on repeat in my head. China cabinet, busted again. Ends it won't meet when the raisins are in. Picking up teeth off the pavement. Broken like bread, shirts that don't fit. Growing mold in the basement.
Hello, so very proud of myself. I went and ran the errands and things that I needed to do. I had some returns to do. I needed to pick up a couple of creams and things. Because of the medication that I'm on, my lips are super dry and chapped. So I got the Elizabeth Arden 8-hour repair cream, which is supposed to be really good, and everyone that's also had this medication super recommends it. So we'll see how that goes. And while I was out for a wonder, I demonstrated a huge amount of self-control and didn't buy any books, even though I wanted to. But I did crack and end up buying some Christmas decor. And it's literally September, and I am the kind of person who's like, no, Halloween comes first and then Christmas. And I don't know how this happened, but I saw them, they were cute, so I got some. And look how cute this is. Just like a little candlestick holder, so I got 2 of them. They were £2.50 each from Primark, and I try not to buy too many things from Primark, but it was cute, and that's gonna last a really long time, so I'm really happy with it. Anyway, so I also came home to find this, and this, oh my god, I can never tell. Is this the... I think this is just the fantasy book only and not the romance one. I think the romance one has a heart on it. But I've just switched over to the combo that they're doing, and it's like about £5 cheaper, which I'll take. Let's see what's in here. Okay, so our theme is power struggle. And there we go. And what's the book? Ooh. It's very Reputation era coded. So we've got snakes and... Are they snakes? Okay. So the book is The Gods Below by Andrea Stewart. And we've got the gem spray edges with the snakes on the bottom and on the top. I don't know how I feel about this cover. What's that? A male with wings? Did not see this coming. I'm a little bit bitter just because I feel like literally everything that I've read recently, the male main character or love interest or whatever is just an attractive man with wings. And I never thought I'd say this, but I'm sick of the men with the wings. I can't believe I'm saying this while also reading House of Sky and Breath, but it's just, yeah. So this is what it looks like, and that's the back. I don't particularly like the gemstone design that's all the way throughout it, so I'm not vibing hugely with that, but we've got end papers here of the characters, and we have Oh, I much prefer this end paper to the guy with the wings. We've got this. Gorgeous. Now, do I know what this is about? Absolutely not. But before we get there, oh, I much prefer this. Yeah, I much prefer the reversible dust jacket. So we've got, that looks so much better, in my opinion, anyway. Not sure how I feel about this book, but it's gonna go on the shelf and I'll probably get to it at some point. Anytime I'm doing the Magical Readathon, which is like really the only readathon that I take part in, I try and pick books majoritarily from the fairy books that I get, just so I can get through them, because otherwise they just like sit there. And some have been like really good, some have been absolute winners, but the last few that I've read I've just not vibed with, I've just not really enjoyed, and I need to figure out whether that's because of the adult subscription box, that always sounds so weird, the book only adult subscription box, or whether it's the books from the fantasy romance, like the romantasy subscription box, just to try and figure out if I'm not enjoying some of the books that are coming with it, and if the not enjoyed books outweigh the enjoyed books, then maybe I shouldn't be getting the subscription. I don't think I'm actually gonna get to doing anything with the bookshelves today, to be quite honest. I'm desperate to finish the House of Sky and Breath because it's just getting so good. There's not a huge amount left, and knowing Sarah J Maas, like the last few hours are just going to be pure chaos. Like, it's just going to be absolute chaos, and I don't know if I should save that for tomorrow because I'm going to be making dinner later, and it's just, I won't be able to focus properly, and if I need to start like crying, then I don't want to do that while also trying to make dinner. So I don't really know what I'm gonna do. Hello. It is freezing today, even though it's clear skies and very sunny outside, so who knows what's going on there. I've just got myself a little coffee and about to start the day, and we're starting the day very late. It's very late on in the day, and that is because I stayed up really late last night. Now you might be like, why did you stay up so late? Because I stayed up late to finish this beastie right here, this massive chunk of a book, and it was so good. Oh my god. It's amazing. This book is so good. I loved it. The ending, like, if you know, you know, because there's nothing I can really say about this book that will not give it away. In case you are not familiar with Crescent City, it is the third book series by Sarah J Maas, who we love, and this one is about a girl called Bryce whose best friend dies or is murdered, and basically the first book is her trying to figure out what happened, what didn't happen, like what was the circumstances around her murder. This is the second book where Bryce and the people from the first book get sucked into a whole world of schemes, and just a lot happens in this book. And then the ending is just like, it's mind-blowing. So I already knew what was going to happen in the ending because obviously I don't live under a rock, and I'd already seen spoilers everywhere because this came out like 2-3 years ago, I think, at this point. And oh my god, but like reading it, it was just so good, so good. So finish this, 5 stars. Honestly, it's probably more like 10 stars. So it's just exceptional, loved it, 10 out of 10, so good, so good. Honestly, like when I finished it, I obviously talked to my partner about it, even though he doesn't care about any of this. He has to listen to me ramble about books all the time, and I just turned to him and I said, when you read a book, this is how it should make you feel, where it's just like your mind is blown, you're excited, you're feeling all the emotions. Like, it was just so good. And the book that I was listening to prior to this one, which I think I already mentioned, it was A Feather So Black by, I forgot her name, Lyra Celine. That one, I almost feel like I was like hate listening to it, and not like hate, but I just wasn't enjoying it, and I got 80% into it and I still was just so confused about what was going on. I didn't know anyone's names, and that's never really a good sign if I still can't figure out who the people are. And I am going to finish it still. I'm going to finish the last little bit just because I want to know how it's going to end, because it's the first book in a series, so I'd like to finish it, and then if I know that I'm not going to be interested in reading it any further, then I can basically sell that book or get rid of that book. But that one, getting through it, even though I was listening to it on audiobook, it was just, my brain could not focus, and I didn't care. And I hate saying that, I just didn't care. And like, I think it's a book that I've seen a lot of good things about, and people will like it, and I think TikTok's probably going to go a little bit like BookTok, Bookstagram. I think they're probably going to really enjoy it, because we've got like 2 male main characters, and one of them's a shadow daddy, which with wings. And again, I'm a little bit sick of males with wings, but not Hunt Athelor, because he's Hunt. Anyway, yeah, so I'm still on a high. I'm still very much on a high from that book. I'm not doing very well for the Magical Readathon, because I think I've only technically finished 2 books, and then I need to finish the A Feather So Black, and that will be 3, and we were meant to finish 5 books. So that's not good. I need to grab me another little audiobook that I can whack on while I'm doing these books. I think I mentioned yesterday, but I think my plan is to have a hardback shelf, and then I want to say a softback shelf, but that's not it. It's paperbacks. Have a paperback shelf. I've got a really cute book nook that I need to make. It's a little kit that I need to make, but that I almost feel like I want to put it on the bookshelves downstairs, but then I only have cookbooks downstairs, so maybe take some of the fantasy books downstairs. I don't know. Maybe take some of the fantasies down. We'll see. I need to figure out what I'm doing for the day. I think I've got some work that needs doing. I think I need to renew my car insurance, and my mum's ringing me, so I'll check back in a bit.
That's right, he's even got it covered. Oh my god.
Digging holes for dying hopes, throwing sticks at glass, Coke bottles, losing my grip in the rat race. I can't recall in the first place, what was it I was aiming for? In a canyon left undone, another tape.
Let's do a little book update. I'm on chapter 7 of Evocation by S.T. Gibson. This, again, is one of the fairy loot books that I'm just making my way through to try and figure out whether I like it or if I don't. How do I even begin to explain this book? So it's about a sorcerer type person, and they are trying to contact the dead, and this powerful being sort of like overtakes them, and they're really startled, and the only people they can really get help from is their ex-boyfriend and his wife. So that's where we're up to. I'm on chapter 7. We're about like 2 or so hours in, and I mean, I'm listening to it, but I am yet to care about any of the characters, and I really struggle with that, because unless I care about the character, and unless I get really involved and attached quite early on, then I really struggle to care about the rest of it. So at the minute, struggling to care, but just going with it. And it's not really often, I honestly couldn't tell you the last time that I read a book from a male perspective where it was like a male main character. So I don't know if that has something to do with it and that's why I'm just struggling to connect. But here we are getting on with it, and I'm not going to finish it today, but props finish it tomorrow, which will be excellent because it means we can get right in on the other books, and maybe, just maybe, I can finish this reading challenge and readathon. So, back to the bookcase situation. The reason that I can't do what my original plan was, and that is to have a shelf be paperback and the other shelf be hardback, is because of this bit here. Hang on, there we go. Okay, so this right here is the middle of the entire bookcase, and these shelves do not move, so they're like the support type shelf. So this cannot move, and there isn't enough space from there downwards to put in just paperback shelves. You'd end up basically having like an unusable weird space up here if you did paperback shelves. So down here, I don't know how I still have wax melt stuff, but I still have wax melt stuff down here, but this is also just a paperback space. And then we've got hardback, and then also hardback, but there's just so much room above it that it's just going to really bug me, and I don't really know how to deal with that situation yet. I could put books underneath it, but I feel like that's gonna make it ugly. So for now, this is what we are dealing with.
I said I loved you, but you let go. I waited for hours, but you never showed. You were all my heart knew, but that's all I held on to, but you let go. We met over coffee on 17th Street. As easy as that when two souls meet. We said I do for worse or better, promised to hold on forever, but you let go. Time flew by like a thunderstorm. People change and that's nobody.
Hello, so it is a little bit later. In fact, I'm not gonna lie, it's a few days later. I forgot about this vlog because of course I did. So I have finished Evocation, and it was a struggle to finish Evocation, and I hate that it was a struggle to finish it because I wanted to love it. Like, it had magic and sorcery and demons, and it was a polyamorous couple, which I didn't see coming. I didn't know that that's what it was going to be. So it had all the elements of being something that I really loved, and it just was not it. So I actually ended up giving it like a 2.5 out of 5 stars, and I think I might have rounded it up to 3 on Goodreads, but it was just lacking so much. I just feel like I really didn't care about some of the characters, and one of the characters. So this was about David, who is having an issue with a demon, and he goes to his ex-boyfriend for help, and his ex-boyfriend and his wife, so Reese, who is the ex-boyfriend, and Moira, who is the wife, are helping him. And Reese is one of the most annoying people I've ever encountered in fiction, and he's the worst. Like, he is just the worst. And there's some like high stakes things that sort of happen towards the end of the book, and I almost just didn't know what was going on because I feel like they were like brushed over, and I just needed more description. I needed to connect more with them. I needed to know what was going on in more detail so I could build this world up in my head. I just felt like everything was a bit vague, and yeah, I'm just really disappointed. And from what I've read online since, it seems to be a poor representation of a polyamorous relationship, which I completely understand. There was a moment where I was like, really? Okay. But I'm not going to give any spoilers, so very disappointed in that. And now I don't know how I feel about going forward and reading any more of S.T. Gibson's books, even though there's a few that have like caught my eye and I've been interested in and they've been on my TBR for a while. But I just think if it's going to be similar to that, where stuff's brushed over and I can't really picture what's happening, then I'm gonna have a hard time reading it. I'm not ruling anything out yet, but I almost feel like I want to unhaul Evocation based on how much I did not like it. So I think what I am going to do is in a future video, I will do a bigger, more proper bookshelf organization, where at least now we have gotten all of the books onto the shelves and everything is full, so as long as I don't add any more books to the shelves will be fine. In fact, let me just show you what the shelves have ended up looking like. Okay, so we start at the top with like what is basically YA, and I've got a bunch of series, and I've got like the House of Night series and stuff like that. Down here again is a bit more YA stuff. Going through, I think everything's YA. There's like 2 random Christmas books over there. Down here we've got the hardback shelf, so we've got some smaller hardbacks in that corner, and then this is where I take my product photography for my business. And then no one needs this many copies of Kingdom of the Wicked series, so I need to figure out which ones I'm getting rid of. And then we've had to do a paperback shelf down here, which is more, or I think it's basically all romance stuff down here. And then we have the Shatter Me series down the bottom, more hardbacks down here that I need to figure out what I want to keep and what I want to get rid of. Down here is a lot of non-fiction, so I've got some of the acting theory books, I've got all my plays and things, the personal development stuff, my witchy Wicca books, poetry, and then we've got biographies and things over there. And down here is literally wax melt stuff. I basically haven't touched this shelf, which is almost like children's books that I don't know why I have. Over here is a weird mix of I don't even know what. We've got some hardbacks, we've got series where it's like paperback and hardback mix, Twilight. We've got the hardback versions of House of Night, and then more plays in the corner. Up here we've got random hardbacks, and then we've got the paperbacks and graphic novels and things over here. This one is the Sarah J. Maas shelf, and I'm missing Akatar from over there, but I feel like there's room for another book on here, which I'm guessing we will get at some point. Up here is another hardbacks, and there is paperbacks of... So this is basically the shelf of like, I don't think I care about any of these books, so I might get rid of them. And then we have the awkward space where it's literally this, and I've just shoved Game of Thrones up there. Yeah, so basically, as long as I don't add any more books to these shelves, we are fine. But I think what I'll do in a future video is go through and organize them in more detail, basically. I want to have read books and unread books separate. I would like them to be in alphabetical order as much as I can, but because it's a massive mix of paperbacks and hardbacks on all the shelves, I don't know how realistic that's going to be. And also I want to put together a pile of books that I am going to unhaul if I don't read them in the next, I don't know, like 6 months or a year or something, because there's some books on there that I just know I'm never going to read. There's like a couple that I got in subscription boxes a good few years ago now that are more horror genre and like thriller horror genre, and that is not my vibe like whatsoever. I do not want to be spooked. I don't want my heart rate raised. It's not the vibe. So those I almost just want to like get rid of, but I don't know, I might give them a try and then get rid of them. But yeah, that is everything for this vlog. We read House of Sky and Breath, which was spectacular, 10 out of 10, incredible, loved it, couldn't say more good things about it. And then we read Evocation, and that was that. It happened and we read it. And I think that's everything that we read in this one. Honestly, I don't remember. If I'm forgetting one, my bad. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this somewhat chaotic reading vlog. I'm trying to get better at reading vlogs, so hit the subscribe button if you want to see me improve with these reading vlogs, and I'll see you very soon for another video. Bye!